Okay, let's finish up the template. This is legal fun, the best kind of fun. Let's check out the constitution information first in the template. Okay, polls. This is basically about voting at board meetings. You need to decide if you want shareholders to vote on things as individuals or by the number of shares they have. Okay, an example. Let's say you've got 5 shareholders. If you give each member 1 vote in total, that means that to vote on stuff at a board level, 3 of the 5 people need to agree on a motion for it to pass. 5 people, 5 votes. Simple, right? But not so simple if you have, say, 10 shareholders who own 1% of the company each, and then one person who owns the other 90%. Because then the shareholders who own only 1% of the company each get to make all the decisions. For example, if you're, say, the founder and leader of an organization that altruistically arranges to have employees own a small share in the business, let's say 10% spread amongst a dozen people, that leaves 90% of the shares for you as a founder. If you choose the individual polling option, those dozen employees could just fire you because those 12 individual votes is bigger than your 1 vote, even though you own 90% of the business. The other option here is to do polls by fully paid shares. It's a bit more complex, but it's more representative. Let's say you've got 5 people owning shares, and 2 of the shareholders, Sally and Bob, own 45 shares each. And then there's 3 other people that have 10 shares each. It's a total of 120 shares, with the 2 main shareholders owning the majority of shares. If you were going to vote on something important at a board meeting and Sally and Bob agreed, their decision would be final. The 30 shares amongst the 3 people isn't as much as 90 shares between 2. If, however, Sally and Bob disagreed, then the 3 people with 10 shares would actually hold the balance of power. If 2 of them voted with Sally and 1 of them voted with Bob, Sally would get her way because her 45 shares plus 10, or 65 of the total 120, is just over half, and enough to make a legally binding decision. This has its own downside when you sell off a significant portion of the business to, say, an investor. Right, so let's say that you found a company with like 3 friends, and then you sell 60% of the shares to an investor. That investor now controls the company, no matter how much you and your friends might agree on where you want the company to go. I've actually seen company founders fired from their own companies because an investor with a controlling number of shares decided they didn't like them. The funny thing about all this is that you and your co-founders can just change stuff as shareholders at any time because you own the company. So if circumstances change for investment or a difficult member of the team or anything else, you can just get together and vote on changes together. Don't forget, it's your company, so you can run it the way you want.
Yeah!